Jack Winters had always been a man of abundance. Growing up in a prosperous suburb, he never experienced the need to conserve. His family believed in the mantra, "More is better," which translated into their daily lives filled with extravagance. Leftovers were tossed, clothes were replaced with the latest fashion, and gadgets were upgraded annually. This lifestyle followed Jack into adulthood, where he continued the cycle, blissfully unaware of the consequences. Everything changed one brisk autumn morning. Jack received a call from his elderly grandmother, Ellen. She was a wise woman who had lived through the Great Depression and the post-war rationing era. She invited Jack over for a cup of tea, a rare request that piqued his curiosity. As Jack sipped his tea in her modest living room, surrounded by relics of the past, Ellen began to tell him stories of her youth. "Jack, you live in a world where wastefulness is rampant," she began, her voice steady but laden with concern. "In my day, we cherished every scrap, every bit of cloth, every morsel of food. Not because we wanted to, but because we had to. Wastefulness wasn't an option." Her words struck a chord with Jack. He had always admired his grandmother's resilience and wisdom, but never truly understood the depth of her experiences. Ellen handed him a faded, well-worn book titled The Art of Frugality. Inside were handwritten notes and recipes for making the most of what one had. Jack left his grandmother's house that day with a new perspective. He began to notice the wastefulness in his own life. The half-eaten meals, the unused clothes, the gadgets gathering dust. The realization was a wake-up call, one that set him on a path to change. Determined to adopt a more sustainable lifestyle, Jack started with small changes. He began by cleaning out his pantry and refrigerator, resolving to use up all the food he already had before buying more. This led to some creative cooking as he experimented with combining ingredients he had never thought to pair. He discovered the joy of homemade soups, stews, and casseroles, often using recipes from his grandmother's book. Jack also tackled his wardrobe. He donated clothes he hadn't worn in years and began repairing items instead of discarding them. He learned to sew buttons, patch holes, and even took up knitting, finding a surprising sense of accomplishment in creating something with his own hands. His next step was technology. Jack had a drawer full of old gadgets, phones, tablets, and accessories that had been replaced by newer models. He decided to sell or donate the functioning ones and properly recycle the rest. This decluttering not only freed up space, but also made him realize the financial wastefulness of constantly chasing the latest tech trends. Jack's efforts extended to his daily routines as well. He started using reusable bags, containers, and water bottles. He made a conscious effort to reduce his energy consumption by turning off lights, unplugging devices, and adjusting his thermostat. These changes, though small individually, collectively made a significant impact on his lifestyle. As Jack's commitment to avoiding wastefulness grew, he decided to tackle a new project, gardening. Inspired by his grandmother's tales of victory gardens during the war, he transformed his backyard into a lush, productive space. He started with a few simple crops like tomatoes, herbs, and lettuce, but soon expanded to include a variety of vegetables and fruits. Gardening became a therapeutic hobby for Jack. It taught him patience, resilience, and the value of nurturing something over time. He reveled in the satisfaction of harvesting his own produce, knowing exactly where it came from and how it was grown. The surplus from his garden was often shared with neighbors and friends, fostering a sense of community and mutual support. Jack also learned about composting, turning kitchen scraps and yard waste into nutrient-rich soil for his garden. This closed-loop system reduced the amount of waste he sent to the landfill and provided him with a sustainable way to enrich his garden. The compost bin, once a foreign concept, became a symbol of his commitment to avoiding wastefulness. Through gardening, Jack developed a deeper appreciation for the natural world. He became more mindful of the seasons, weather patterns, and the delicate balance of ecosystems. This newfound respect for nature reinforced his resolve to live sustainably and minimize his impact on the environment. Inspired by his personal journey, Jack felt compelled to share his experiences with others. He believed that if he could change, so could anyone. He started small, organizing workshops and community events to promote sustainable living. He taught people how to reduce waste, recycle effectively, and grow their own food. His enthusiasm was infectious, and soon, more and more people joined the movement. Jack partnered with local schools, businesses, and organizations to implement broader changes. He helped establish recycling programs, community gardens, and educational initiatives focused on sustainability. His efforts caught the attention of the local media, and he was invited to speak at various events and forums. One of the most successful initiatives was the Zero Waste Challenge, where participants committed to reducing their waste to almost nothing for a month. Jack provided guidance, resources, and support, helping people navigate the challenges and celebrate their successes. The challenge fostered a sense of camaraderie and shared purpose, proving that collective action could lead to significant change. Jack's community efforts also extended to local policy advocacy. He worked with local government officials to promote policies that supported sustainability, such as banning single-use plastics, improving public transportation, and incentivizing renewable energy. His persistent efforts paid off as the community began to see tangible improvements in their environment and quality of life. Years passed, and Jack's life had transformed in ways he could never have imagined. His home was a model of sustainability, his garden a thriving oasis of biodiversity. He had built a community of like-minded individuals who shared his passion for avoiding wastefulness and living in harmony with the environment. Jack often reflected on his journey, from the wake-up call from his grandmother to the vibrant community he had helped foster. He realized that the key to avoiding wastefulness wasn't just about individual actions, but about fostering a mindset of gratitude, mindfulness, and respect for the resources we have. As Jack grew older, he became a mentor to younger generations, sharing his knowledge and experiences. He wrote a book chronicling his journey, blending practical advice with personal anecdotes. The book, titled A Life of Purpose: Embracing Sustainability, became a bestseller and inspired countless others to embark on their own journeys of change. One summer evening, surrounded by friends and family in his garden, Jack looked around with a sense of fulfillment. He saw the fruits of his labor, not just in the plants and vegetables, but in the people whose lives had been touched by his message. His grandmother, now in her twilight years, beamed with pride at the legacy she had helped inspire. Jack understood that avoiding wastefulness was more than just a lifestyle choice. It was a commitment to living with intention, compassion, and respect for the world around us. It was a lesson he had learned late but had embraced fully, and one that he hoped would continue to inspire others long after he was gone.